Welcome back, Lake listeners. Thank you for tuning in to more of Season 4 with our Grow, Thrive, Inspire podcast. Today's guests are true inspirations and dear friends of mine. Their team has been recognized for Missouri's Best Realty Company 2 years in a row, and it's my pleasure to welcome them today on this episode. So I have my good friend and team leader, Miss Tammy Rosenthal, and team member, amazing agent, Amber Elliot with the Fran Campbell Team with RE/MAX Lake of the Ozarks. Ladies, thank you so much for being here and your time. I'm super excited to talk about you and just this topic and everything.
Well, thank you for having us. We're excited also.
Yes.
So I wanted to start today's episode with both of you just taking a minute and telling our listeners a little bit more about yourselves and kind of where you found the passion to do what you do.
You want to go first?
Yeah, just about how we started
Yeah, and just about yourself.
Okay. My family, my mom grew up here. I'm lucky enough to have met my husband, whose whole family also lives here. So feel really fortunate for that. And then I started out with the Fran Campbell Team doing their marketing for 3.5 years. So
Really?
I really got a good handle on real estate. Fran calls it our internship. So I think that really helped me. And then now I've been selling real estate with them for a while.
What about you, Tammy?
I moved to the lake in 2005. My husband's parents had bought property here in 1967, so he grew up coming to the lake all the time, and he started bringing me here, and we had an opportunity to move, so we took it. And then at that time, when we moved here, I didn't have a job, and I answered an ad in the paper for Fran Campbell Team. Didn't know what I was getting myself into. And so I started out as the team's closing coordinator and office manager. And I actually did that job for about six to 7 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I got my license in 2010, and I kind of overlapped 2 years where I did both things until I started to sell a lot, and then I just couldn't do both things.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And then I had the opportunity in 2020 to take over the team. So also, homegrown internship, the whole whatever you call it. But yeah, started from the inside and worked my way up.
That's great. Yeah. You guys do a great job on your team. It's been so much fun to watch how much you guys have grown, and Tammy, how you have done great with your leadership role and just everything that you guys are punching out. So it's really exciting.
Thank you.
So I'm excited to talk about today's topic with you both. And the topic is, why should we take action? This can be applied to a professional level or a personal basis, but how do you both feel about just taking action in our lives?
I feel like for me, it's a little scary at first, but I know that I need to do something to grow and further myself. Mm-hmm. So I have to sometimes self-motivate, give myself a little pep talk, come on, Tammy, let's do this. But it always turns out to be good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, I say this all the time is RE/MAX Lake of the Ozarks does a really good job, and our team meetings and stuff teaching us. So I think one thing I make sure to do, and I always say it, is I do take action right afterwards. I make sure to take notes, and then whenever those leaders tell me to do, I go and do it.
Yeah, you go apply it. Yeah. And that's a
Don't
big
just
part
let
of
the
action.
Piece of paper sit on my desk. I make sure to do all those things.
No, I think that's great that you're able to take back notes or anything that you picked up and just go, okay, well, I'm going to fit this in here. That's great. So it's said that action kind of creates habits. So, that ultimately leads to success. So can you describe some actions that you have taken that you think has led to where you are currently?
I definitely think being involved in your community, I think one of the biggest parts, especially in real estate, is knowing a lot of people.
Yeah.
So just being kind of good friends and meeting a lot of people in our community is something that I've done.
What kind of, speaking of that, what kind of community involvement are you a part of, Amber?
Well, we just because fortunately both of our families have been around here a long time, we just know a lot of people. But I do like to go to the chamber events, and when you see those things on, try to attend them to meet other agents as well, and whenever we have events within Remax, try to go to those.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, and your husband, he is he in construction or
they own a furniture store.
Furniture store? Yeah, you're right. Okay.
So.
Yeah, well, I know that's been around. That store is amazing.
Yeah.
So he's been here for a long time. That's awesome. What about you, Tammy?
Taking action. I feel like some of the things that I've done that have helped me is deciding that I'm gonna actually get up and work every day. In this business, we don't have any set schedule. There's no time clocks to punch. So, I mean, that's the first thing every morning. Like taking action, like deciding that you're gonna work.
That's a good one.
Some of the things that I do also is, oh gosh, it's almost been 10 years. I decided that I was going to work out and take care of myself.
Oh, yeah.
And I make that a priority. I mean, my team knows, like it's on my schedule. It's an appointment. I'm not going to change it unless I absolutely have to.
Well, you have to take care of yourself, you know, in order to do all of the things that you're trying to do to get towards your goals or whatever. I mean, I always go back to, like, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
Your body's the same way, in my opinion. Like, you have to take care of the thing that's making you function.
Right.
Getting back to time management, though, I'm glad you brought that up because I think that's a great point about taking action, especially in our industry, because, like, I see it every day working with newer agents that are jumping in and don't know what they're doing, you know, just fresh out of school. And we always tell them, you know, the great thing about being in business for yourself is that, you know, you're in business for yourself, but it's also a bad thing, too, sometimes because you don't have anybody that's like, okay, let's go to work, you know, and it is really important to show up every day. You know, I think a lot of people have that misinterpretation of, like, you know, you're a business owner, so I get to go do whatever I want.
Right.
You can't do that.
Right.
So, how did taking action help you develop your team and your own business personally through the years?
I feel like just like both of us have learned so much from being a part of the team where we weren't actually selling, but we learned from the team.
Like from an admin standpoint?
Standpoint, getting designations, furthering your education in real estate, partnering with other agents, just talking with other agents. I love our office atmosphere where we just bounce ideas off of each other. We take action. If we have an issue, we kind of talk through it and come up with ideas. I feel that has really bettered our team because we've had some unique ideas that have helped us to win contracts lately and just kind of push our team further.
Yeah, leverage it.
Whenever an outside agent deals with one of our team members, they know that the job's going to get done. We don't let things fall through. Yeah. I mean, what do you think, Amber?
Yeah, that's true. I tell everybody there's no way, especially last year, I would have won all those deals if I wasn't able to talk about things in our office, and then we have our meetings, and somebody will say something they struggled with, and then I'm like, okay, here's how we could do it differently next time. So,
I love that the collaboration can fast track almost in some certain situations. You know, you'll probably hear Tammy on the phone talking to a client and be like, ooh, I'm going to use that sentence next time or something. And that helps so much in that team, you know, environment and being able to kind of pass things back and forth.
I will have to say, Carrie, our closing coordinator, she also is really good about taking action. So if something comes up, we don't wait until the day of closing to make sure that those issues are taken care of. She's on it. She lets us know. We get those issues taken care of right away so that we always have smooth closings.
I love that. Yeah, Carrie is a tremendous asset. I'm sad that I don't get to see her in person every day, but I know that she's there, just still rocking and rolling. So, do you both believe that taking action stops or halts complaining? It's a hard question.
Well, there's a lot of complaining right now in real estate.
Yeah.
but yeah, I think in our office, I don't really think we complain about any of the transactions if it didn't go right. We more take it as a learning process, and we do, spin ideas off of each other and be like, okay, well that happened. Now how do we
Yeah.
fix it?
How do you like overcome
Right,
it or
right.
do better
Overcome it.
next time? Yeah. No, I like that. I find that a lot of people who, the reason for this question is I find like a lot of people who make excuses versus initially act on things. Those are the people that come back usually and go, oh, well, I couldn't do something because I had something else going on, or, I couldn't do this because I was distracted over here. So that's kind of what I meant initially with complaining.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know?
I don't think we have that issue in our office.
That's good.
It's like, all right, you got a problem, you vent about it, and then you go fix it, or you go do what you need to do, or
find solutions.
Right, you find solutions, and just move on.
What about conquering fear, though? This is a big one because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not going to do that video because I don't like video. That's just one example. You're the video master over there, so
Yes, Amber's the video queen.
Yeah,
She's
I love your
amazing
videos.
at it.
Thanks. Well, like for me, listing appointments, I think it is very nerve-wracking. I really have to conquer fear every time I'm, because you're essentially getting interviewed every time you go there, and getting interviewed is scary.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So just really trying to be prepared in our office, and like we said, having those business hours where, I'm pretty much there 40 hours a week on top of if I'm out showing, so just trying to be really prepared helps overcome some fears for me.
Can you share just a few things that you do to kind of just, like ease that fear monster back down? Like, do you go over to Tammy and you're like, I'm going to this appointment, give me something?
yeah, we have to say, you're not going on, you're getting a listing, try to
like manifest it.
Right,
I'm like, no, you're not going to an appointment, you're going to take the listing.
Yeah.
You got it. You got this, girl.
That's good. Yeah. Are there any new skills that either of you have developed from taking action? Like Amber, we were just talking about video, and I'm sure that was not something that you were, fresh day one, comfortable or maybe particularly strong with. Tammy, maybe starting a team too. I know that was a big hurdle. Like anything from that? Any new skills?
I definitely watched a lot of YouTube videos on how to make
Yeah.
And that's kind of the other thing. People always ask me how I learned to do it, and it's like, you just how do you do the voiceover? Okay, start watching
Google.
YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did have to teach myself, and then over the years you just get better and better at it. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I could see how just repetition of that is strong.
Not being afraid to ask someone that's doing it better than you.
Yeah.
Like, Amber does video way better than I do. I hate to be on camera. And, she's like, you just got to do it. And then, so I'm trying this year. I just got to do it.
Yeah.
But just finding someone that is better at something than you, and just interviewing them or sitting down and asking how they do it, or not being afraid, like Amber said, to just go look online. I mean, it's all out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Utilize your resources.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are fearful of that too, because I think that your mind is your biggest enemy sometimes. And so when you're thinking about, going and utilizing a person, for advice on maybe how to do video, for example, that person, people think, oh, well, I'm going to go ask, but maybe I shouldn't because they're going to think that, I'm competition or something, it's just like, no.
Well, and so, in my team leader role, I'm relatively new at this. So I've interviewed like every team leader at Remax Lake of the Ozarks, and even outside of the area. Like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And, even asking like the hard questions. And you know what? They are all willing to share with me. It's just getting over that fear of like thinking that they're going to hold something back or not share with you.
Well, what was it like, Tammy, when you initially took over?
Terrifying.
Yeah, I was going to say, how did you overcome that though? I mean, were you just like, okay, I did it, we're doing it, the only way through is through,
Yeah, I mean, terrifying, a lot of risk, and just trying to measure those risks and figure out how to go forward, and communication with the team.
Yeah,
really. I mean,
well, and you guys, yours is probably a little bit better of an experience because you've been with the team for so long too, so it wasn't like probably shocking.
But then my fear, it was failure. I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to fail the team. Right. I've been with the team. I've been with them. They're my friends. They're my colleagues. I mean, they're the people I spend the most time with.
Yeah, almost like a family,
honestly,
yeah.
Right, they're my family, and my biggest fear is failing them. I mean, it's their livelihoods, it's my team's livelihood, our administrative staff, everyone. Like, it was a lot of, it was scary. It's a lot of responsibility to make sure that everyone succeeds.
Well, I love that you are mindful of the responsibility, though. I mean, we spend a lot of time in team leader meetings, as you know, just, telling them, like, you're the leader, it's your responsibility to make sure your people, your members are taken care of. And it kind of, once you take on that role, you're out of the picture at that point. It's almost like becoming a parent all over again, So, I love it. I love it. So do you think that taking action helps you to be able to shift and pivot in certain situations?
Yes.
Probably people who take action are go-getters, you know, so you don't, like you say, you don't have to be told to go to work. You just know that's what you do.
You just show up.
And I want to be there, so yeah, we probably can maneuver around the situation.
Yeah, I feel like this crazy real estate market that we've been in the last couple of years, we really had to pivot and change the way that we do things and how we work with buyers and how we present our listings. It's been a lot of change.
Well, and I'm sure, like we were talking about earlier, Tammy, a lot of change even all the way down into just overall systems, processes, details. I mean, I can remember in my own position, like when COVID initially happened, just how we had to help that shift occur to be able to support. So I knew a lot of, what went into that direction. And it is a lot. I mean, it is a lot to be able to do it and do it fast,
Right.
It's also working on scripts and how we talk to our clients.
Practicing.
Prices are up, but they're up everywhere, things like that, and just not get bogged down in the, I can't believe this is happening kind of thing. So.
Yeah. Well, and you are such a proponent for education. You keep bringing up education. With your history, Tammy, I mean, I'm sure, and I know you, so I know the answer already, but you're still learning, even in your current role.
Every day.
I mean, every single day. I mean, how often... just ballpark, in a week, do you find yourself, knowing that you're intentionally learning? Like how many hours a week, probably?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I read books. I watch, podcasts. I listen. If there's a class that I can attend, I try to attend. I'm really excited about going to R4 again this year. I learned so much there. Just bouncing ideas off of other agents. I mean, I don't know that I can even quantify the hours that,
No, I think that's great. Because I think that a lot of people, especially in our industry and just in personal life, like the more that you can put in your brain, I think the more you're able to give back and get to your goals faster. So I'm a huge proponent for education. I don't think anybody can ever stop learning personally. How does, Amber, switching to you, this one's coming to you. How do your actions ignite your motivation?
How do my actions ignite my motivation? That's a hard one.
Yeah. I mean, again, going back to like when you first became an agent to now, I'm sure like taking action was a little nerve-wracking because you were unsure of like the next step, whereas now you're probably like, okay, well, I'm just gonna knock this out because I know where I'm going, so it's not as such a cloudy area anymore, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm definitely much more confident now, and our team has been very successful, so the amount of transactions I've been able to do have really helped me learn a lot in this amount of time. So
well, and then confidence obviously leads to motivation too, because you're not doubtful, so
I would say that Amber, she has awesome systems, and she knows that it's going to take time, but if she follows the systems, she knows that there's a reward at the end. So
I love that you bring up the way that you worded it like that, because again, I think that applies personally. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, you have to have a system and a process behind it, even if it's just something as simple as just time blocking it for 15 minutes every day or something, so I think that if people would just pay attention more on developing that in a way that works for them, I feel like people would take more action just initially. I don't know what you guys think, but
We're learning the backgrounds of a lot of these programs in those systems, like because there's a lot of tools out there for us, especially with Remix, that help us learn and can help our business. So learning all of those programs really has helped me.
Yeah, they've helped me too, because I was able to kind of do a lot of research into the industry before even knowing every aspect of it. And I love the tools that we get through our corporation, Remax LLC, but they do such a good job, I feel like, for helping people develop the business model that they want, you know? Yeah, so. Okay, couple more questions. Have you ever done something and then figured out it may not be something you want to try again? How do you overcome that? So you took action on something, you're like, I don't know if I'm going to do that again, and then you kind of replace it with something else.
I mean, we always say in our office, like, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
And take your, 2 minutes, vent about it, and next.
Yeah.
Just say next.
On to the next.
Move on. You can't dwell on your failures. There's going to be a time a client fires you. And you can't just dwell on it like, oh, you got to move on. You say next, next, move on.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
With any failure, even just, okay, I'll do it better next time.
Exactly.
Okay, 2 more. Is there any advice to our listeners who may be struggling with just taking action on something that you feel is important?
I would say, I'm always making like pros and cons list.
Okay.
I'm always, and I tell my clients all the time, make your pros and cons list, and if you've hit 7 out of 10, it's probably something you need to do.
Ooh, I like it. Yeah.
There's never a perfect 10, ever.
Right.
So you just that's the one you got to pull the trigger and do it.
I really like the pros and cons breakdown, Tammy. I've never heard that before, but I could see how that would be really effective.
And I do that with clients too. Like, make a list of your top 10 items that you want in a property. And if you hit 7, you've probably found your perfect property.
Yeah. I could see how that would be. Yeah, especially in our market right now. Yeah. What about you, Amber? Any advice for anybody listening?
Yeah, I say that a lot too here, especially because, it's a give or take. Do you want a steep driveway or do you want a lot of steps to the water?
Yeah.
So a lot of, there's probably, things that we have to overcome that other areas don't. And so.
Yeah, like we can't fix all of the topography, right?
No.
But it is talking through to those people about, getting them used to our area and trying to talk them through that. If they're trying to find that perfect 10, it is hard to do.
So like getting back to education, just taking the time to really explain things, understand things, pros and con list. I love it. That's great. Great advice. Okay, last question. Are there any actions that you're taking in 2022 that have you really excited?
Well, we've made some changes in the team definitely this year, and I'm excited about that. We've added another admin this year so that we can split out the marketing and the listing. I'm excited about that. I'd love to add another member to our team. We're all kind of excited about the prospect of adding someone that fits our culture, not just,
That's what it's
not
about.
just a warm body. We want someone that fits our culture. I think we have a great team culture, and we all feed off of each other.
Well, you have a lot of fun too together too.
We do.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a nice little friendly competition, but we don't hurt each other.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about the year.
I'm excited too. Anything for you, Amber, within your own personal business?
I've just been working on my goals and trying to set up some new things I maybe didn't do last year, things I said I was going to do.
Oh, okay.
So really trying to make sure I follow through and putting them in my calendar. I've been kind of working on that for, the whole year. Like, okay, you have to do this.
You got to put a date to it.
And then doing it. So, and then just, goals on sales and all that. So I'm excited.
I'm excited for you too.
Thanks.
I think you're really gonna crush it this year. Not that you didn't crush it last year, but it's always good to want to go a step above every time.
I will have to say that that on our team, like everyone has a role. Like Amber is really like forcing us to do more video this year, even though I hate to do video, but she is forcing us to each do more video this year. So we all take that leadership position within the team.
Well, and I'm sure, like, with you, Tammy, I know that you're very detail-oriented and stuff, so I'm sure some of that comes into play, and, like, everybody's strengths, and...
I feel like sometimes my detail-oriented holds me back, because I feel like everything needs to be perfect.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
she
not.
does the stuff maybe we don't want to do. She'll come to the meeting with the, look how this has changed, and these are important changes. You know, how the contracts changed, and showing us why it's changed and how we can use it to our advantage or whatever. So we're thankful for that.
Yeah, I would be too, because I mean that's a dry read sometimes.
Yeah,
so
I'm like, I would not have noticed that. So I'm glad you.
Yeah, glad you're detailed. Well, Grow, Thrive, Inspire listeners, we could not be more thankful to Tammy and Amber for being here and sharing their knowledge and experience and history. You guys did an awesome job. If our listeners wanted to connect with either of you, what would be the best way?
Email or phone, Tammy@francampbell.com, or my cell at 573-746-0547.
Perfect. Amber?
I'm Amber@francampbell.com, and it's 573-230-9357.
Awesome. And although the season is coming to a close soon, please be sure to continue to like and follow us for upcoming lake events, things happening within RE/MAX, the market, just anything and everything. You can find it on all of our favorite platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, 89.3 FM in Osage Beach, and a lot of other ones. So continue to like and follow us. We appreciate you listening, and remember to always grow, thrive, and inspire, and we'll catch you next time.